So the Netherlight Crucible is how we are going to increase the power of our artifact weapon in 7.3. There are two aspects of the Netherlight Crucible I want to talk about. First of all, there's actually the mechanical process of how it works, and that's what this video is going to be on. And then I want to discuss it in terms of what Blizzard said about it as well. That's very much going to be very vloggy, so I'm going to do that in a separate video which I'm going to bring out later today. And this is the item that makes our artifacts more powerful for 7.3. So after we've unlocked it, and there's a fair amount of questing to be done to do that, the interface looks like this. Now we can see, first of all, at the top, we've got our 3 relics slotted into our artifact weapon. There's also a 4th slot. The purpose of this is to slot in relics that you've got in your bag so that you can preview what traits will appear on it before deciding whether or not to slot it in. So what have we got? So we've got 3 tiers of skills here. The first one just simply increases your artifacts by 5 item levels. So you've got that at the top of each of these for the relic. That's just standard. It's the other rows where it's a bit more RNG. Now what you can see here, and this is in line with what Blizzard clarified, is we can see here, to be able to unlock this row, I need to have artifacts level 60. So I don't at the moment on this character. When I do, I get a choice of one of these two things. I take whichever seems to be the best for me. Then to access the next one down, I need to have artifacts level 69. And it includes here, note, traits. So basically we're putting an extra trait on our relic. Now, note that the trait on this one, and this is the one specifically Blizzard mentioned because I'm Retribution Paladin, is Wrath of the Ashbringer. So this is our best trait. Now, what they've said is, so that we're not hideously disappointed, it's impossible to get a duplicate of that same trait. So you'll never get a double of a particular trait on the same relic. So there's 3 randomly determined traits here. I just pick whichever would seem to be the best of them, which in my case is only one decent one here, so I would just pick that, even though it's not one of my best. So again, just to recap there, at the start we just put the straight away, click on that for the +5 item levels. Down this one I need artifact level 60, this one I need artifact level 69. Then on to the next relic. Here we can see there's a similar sort of structure, but for this one, to get to the second row here, I need artifact level 63. And for this one, I need artifact level 72. And then on my final relic, I need artifact level 66. And then artifact level 75. So there's quite a lot of unlocking to be done. It's not going to be finished as such until you've got that artifact level 75. But it sort of works the same on both of them. So your second tier down has some ability. Hopefully one of them will not be a complete disaster. And then the third tier is another trait, and you pick whichever you think is going to be the best of them. I have to say, in this particular case, this would be a complete disaster for me, because all of these traits are, on some bosses, completely worthless. Thanks very much, Blizzard. The idea was, Blizzard was saying that it's not complete RNG because you get like 3 rolls of the dice. Well, in this particular case, you could argue this is unlucky, but nonetheless, this shows you that it is actually possible. If you've got 3 traits that are not all that useful, you can get all 3 on the same relic. The same happens here because, you know, you might decide that neither of these are as good as some others. So there is the element of disappointment here, but it's smoothed out a little bit because you do get a choice. Hopefully one of them will be okay. Okay, so I've just popped along onto my hunter here, not because the artifact level's any better and I'm able to show you unlocking any of these, but because it's got something in its bags. It's got a relic. So this particular relic, for example, let's say I wanted to slot this. What I could do is I can place it in here, and it will show me what abilities it's got on it and what traits it's got on it. And I can look at this and think to myself, yeah, actually, that would be an upgrade. Or, no, I don't really like any of those. I'm not going to slot it. Now, here are the pros and cons of this. The obvious advantage is you might get a relic that is a small item level upgrade. Let's say 5 item levels upgrade. But the relic you currently have slotted has quite nice traits on both the second and third row. So it's going to have to be at least equal to or better than those for you to want to slot it. So it allows you to avoid the disappointment of slotting something that might be an upgrade and then turns out not to be, because of course with a relic, once you've slotted one relic in, you've destroyed the other one, you've shot your load. The downside is that you are going to need this in your bags. It's not like the relic can drop off a boss and you have any way of being able to tell what special abilities are on it whilst you're deciding who should get this relic. So for raiders, bit of a problem, it has to be said. But for the vast majority of players, I suppose, who are just going to get their relics on personal loot or from random caches or wherever it happens to be, then, you know, you will have it in your bags. It does mean you don't slot it straight away. It comes into the reforging thing that I'm going to talk about in the second video there. But that is how the Netherlight Crucible works. Just as a reminder, I'm just going to put the thing up here for the different artifact levels you're going to want to work through. Remembering that in 7.3 we do start to get more artifact knowledge as well. It happens automatically. We don't have to visit the NPC to build it up. Every week we'll get another artifact knowledge, starting with the 41st artifact knowledge level on the release of 7.3. So I hope you found this useful. If there are any further questions you want to ask them down below. If you found it useful, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe for further content. And until next time, I'll see you later.